Welcome back to East Midlands Field Sports. So this morning I'm ferreting a small paddock that's pretty local to me. I like to start this one early season because the holes are in the middle of the field. There isn't much cover obstructing the holes, and it gets the ferrets back into the swing of things, and then as the month moves on I can go around to my other permissions, and then normally by early winter hopefully I can start hitting the hedgerows. So like I said, I've got two hobs with me. I'm just letting the warren settle a bit now because I've had the sheep around me this morning and they've been over the warren, so I've just netted up. I'm just sitting back for a minute and then we'll put one of the hobs in and see if we can bolt a rabbit out. So my plan is this morning is to tackle this one, and there's one in the corner. If I can get, I don't know, 4 to 6 rabbits off these this morning, I'll be happy with that, because there is two slightly larger ones that are also on the property, but I don't want to do them yet because I haven't got my long net, because the ground is still quite hard. We had a lot of rain yesterday and the purse net pegs have just about gone in, but I think the long net ones will struggle. Plus I'm on my own as well, so like I said, I just want to do these two, and if I get a few, brilliant. If not, well, we'll see how the morning goes on. Well, I'm surprised there was no rabbits in this first warren. It's only a small 4-holer, yeah, a little 4-holer, and the ferret worked to every hole and went down every hole. He worked it for a good 10 minutes or so, but nothing. And when I looked the other day, there was a little bit of fresh digging, but there we go. So far it's not a good start. Because out of this one, when we first got this permission, I reckon it was about 4 or 5 years ago, and we had 20 odd rabbits off here. Granted, there was more than what there is now, because we've kept on top of them for the landowner. But I do remember when I done this warren, I think Simon was doing one over there and I was doing this one. I think I bolted about 8 out of this. It's a bloody good morning that was. But right, that's all the nets picked up. I'm gonna head over into that corner. Hopefully that produces some. So this is like a bit of a, I'll just call it a throughway warren. Can't really go anywhere. It has produced rabbits, but probably the last 5, because I always start with this one before I move over to the actual warren. It's always worth putting the ferret in. Yeah, so it has produced something, but the last few times there's been nothing in here. The ferrets seem to go in, bob up, or go straight through. I'll try it a couple of times, but then I always leave the nets on here as a bit of a back net insurance. So if they do come out of here, because I haven't got my long net, they've kind of got something on these holes. And when I finished netting up, I walked round the warren and I noticed there's actually a 2-holer over there, one there and one at the back. So I'm going to give that a whirl as a mare, might as well. It'll probably be like this, produce nothing, or it might produce one. But I'm trying to be time conscious as well today. It's not as hot because we've had that rain and we've got some cloud cover, but I think it's still going to get warm come lunchtime. So I'm going to see how long this one takes, and if I have to, I will have a look on this one, but I'm going to be changing my mind, but because that was one of them I was going to leave for next time. But I keep saying I'm going to see how it goes on here, that little one. I mean, to be fair, I think there's a little one on that fence and a single hole by the chickens which has produced 2, so I might actually just spend the morning just milling around on these little ones and then save these 2. But so yeah, he's gone all the way through now. Just gonna have one more look. If you guys want to pop it in the comments, but how well do you know your working ferrets? And I mean as a sense of, like this hob in particular, if I put him in a hole, if he keeps coming up, going back down, coming up, going back down, he's still hunting. So even though this more or less goes one end to another, a rabbit has obviously passed through, so he is obviously trying to find it. And then when all the rabbits are bolted or it's empty, he normally hovers by the hole. And I had a Jill like that, my very first Jill. She used to hunt all the way around the warrens. She'd keep sticking her, she used to stick her nose up, but then when she'd finished, be it empty or all the rabbits had bolted, she'd just stand proud on the mouth of the hole. But yeah, I just wasn't sure if you guys know how well your ferrets work, and if they have any little signs or quirks when they're finished working. Right then, let's see. Oh, that's the worst with him as well. Oh no, let him off. He's just kind of bowled through. Go on then. But this is a slightly larger one, so I'll see how he works for a few minutes. If there's no sign of him or a rabbit, I'll get the other one out, because there's a bit of an area, but they have done it before on their own. But yeah, we'll just see how it goes. So then, let me tell you where I'm at. I've just had a chat with the landowner. He's a nice guy who's had a bit of a chinwag. I just put the second hob in, and as I was putting him in, talking to the landowner, I didn't realise the first ferret knocked the poke net out of the way. A second rabbit actually bolted, but it come back in the warren. So there is another one in here, and it's going to go one or two ways. It's either going to bolt out, or it's not going to want to move, and they end up getting it in a stop end. And that's why I'm not going to chase that first rabbit into that warren, because that one was the one I was going to leave. And I do try not to chase rabbits around. If they bolt out, I very rarely go for them a second time. I'll just leave them for another day, because sometimes it can always end up pear-shaped. But he was just telling me he saw half a dozen near the chicken pen along a sandy bit at the back. So I'll have a little look, see what I can find. But I said to him today, I'm going to stick with the very easy ones, just to push the ferrets through to see what's going on. Like that one behind me, the fence one, chicken one. But it's my fault. I know I didn't bloody check that poke net, because he would have been well and truly stuck in that. But I've got to keep tabs on what ferret I'm seeing, and double checking all the nets. Because the second hob I put in, I think this is him, because he appeared back up here, and the first hob I put on the tail of that rabbit that bolted. Yeah, this is the second hob. Move him down a bit. And if I haven't seen the other one in about 5-10 minutes, I'll have to get a locator out and have a scan around. But we'll see what he does. Still no sign of any rabbits. I've taken one hob out and I've got the first hob I started with in here. He showed up to the hole just to my right and I've been marking him with the ferret finder about here in between these two holes. But the thing is, he's not really committing to a stay. I've got it down to about number 3. I was going to start digging, but he's moved again. He's come back to the area now. But it's hard to pinpoint him. It seems like he's coming back and then moving off again. Hopefully he comes up soon or puts a rabbit out. But yeah, it's moved again now. Fingers crossed he or the rabbit comes out very soon. Well, luckily, as soon as I finished that little bit of filming, the ferret actually popped up, which was pretty good. And I thought, as I've got all the nets down here, I've just chucked a couple on this little 2-holer just to see if anything's in there. It's probably not, but it's worth a shot. But it's been bloody hard today. Lost one. That one I think he put in a stop end. He had no fur on his claws and no blood on him, which is good. But he say he weren't committing to staying with it. And as the sun's coming out now, I ain't just going to start digging. We can, after today, we can leave this for at least a month, and then we can hit it again pretty hard. But it stayed down a little bit longer than it did on them 3-holer one. Well, this is warren number 3 of the day, and it's that fence line one, and it's actually a little bit bigger than I thought. And I've got a hole here and it comes all the way in to obviously the fence line, and there's a little nest of them around there. So yeah, it's bigger than I thought actually. Just gave it a minute just to rest. I think it's... is it this one? No. Yeah, try you again. So I'm starting on the outside one. It's pretty accessible for me to make my way over there. So let's just see what this does. I like look at that one. Go on. Yep, he's gone. No, it's back. So after this, I am just going to run one of them in that 1-holer by the chicken pen, then we'll call it a day. So this is kind of the last chance really to get any rabbits, even though on a previous video that single hole in the chicken pen I bolted 2 out there in about a minute or 2. And that was the last trip I actually had with my polecat hob, because then he died 2 days later. Don't know what was up with him. But I had 3 rabbits that morning. I was here for less than an hour. In fact, one of them by the chicken pen was a bluey colour, which was Quite nice actually, I haven't had one of them before. It would be nice to actually take one home. This is the last little bit for today. Kind of really scraping the barrel here. Like I said earlier, I have actually bolted rabbits from there. I had 2 in quite quick time. Let's hope it can produce 1. Because that fence line one, I was really surprised on that. There was nothing at all in there. The ferret stayed down a little bit and I thought there was a chance, but you know, he worked through it and nothing. So out of the 3 warrens there was 2 that was empty, the first one and the fence one, and that second one where that rabbit wouldn't bolt, and then we lost one. I think the ferret must have just come up to the net. Well, I'm done for the day now. Bit disappointing. I've got nothing to take back. As you know, we lost one and that one didn't bolt, and I didn't want to keep pushing my luck. I nearly had a dig and the ferret come out, so last thing I want is spending Sunday afternoon in the heat digging, so I had to walk away. It's the name of the game, ferreting, shooting, fishing, so I'm still going to post a video because as you know, I do post the good and the bad, and anyone who does this kind of sport will know you can't always go out and get rabbits. So it is a shame, but the ferrets did work well. We did see a couple, but they're just not coming back with us. But it is early in the season, so hopefully the next video you'll actually see some rabbits. So like normal guys, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon for another one.